don't know about proof.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. And Shelby Langston, we've been actually working together for, a long time now. What is it, 2 or 3 weeks? But
Yeah.
let me introduce Shelby. He's just a business genius. He's been around the world, this wonderful world of network marketing, about as long as I have. Let's see, you've been involved as a distributor, as an owner, a creator, all around good guy. And I think one of the things that appeals to us in this business, probably more than anything, is just a wonderful feeling of being able to make a positive difference in the world, and harnessing this method by teaching other people, but also powered by products that can have an amazing, profound effect on people. That's what a wonderful way to live your life, is building teams and using that to multiply the power of an amazing product. And then the thrill of being at the beginning in an area where you have such a growth environment. I love what is I think one of the best ways to say it. It's better to create than to maintain. I think that's just such a great thing. When I'm green, I'm growing, but when I'm ripe, I'll soon be rotten. You can't just stay the same. You're either growing or you're not. And I just love this thrill of growing right now and making a difference. And maybe you could start out with some of your experience with the product. I was really moved by what you did with your son-in-law, and just kind of tell a little bit about your background and where you see the future and why you're involved at all with this.
Yeah, Dave, can you hear me all right, buddy?
Very well.
Oh, very good. Because, I don't know why on my end I'm not hearing me, but it might be this mic. But as long as you can hear me okay, we're doing good. And say good morning to everyone out there. I don't know how many people are there. I look like there's about 38 or so. But it's a very good place to be right now where it comes to what you're sharing, Dave. And like you mentioned, this industry that we're in, and basically it's a method of sharing things of importance, whether it be information or whether it be a technology, or as we've seen, or maybe it's just a product that has the ability to improve the quality of life for a person. And that what takes you and I way back, well over 33 years ago. Our paths have crossed a number of times, and we've seen people in things that we've promoted in common, and things that we promoted that we didn't really promote together. But I was always impressed with what you and your dear wife have done, and the way that you've done business has always been one of 100% belief in what you share, to have a true value to the individual that you're sharing it with. And that, for me, over the years, without you knowing it, I've used your story probably thousands of times because of the integrity that you choose to display in everything you do. It goes without saying that if Dave Johnson shares something with you, he believes it. That doesn't mean we have to agree. It doesn't mean that we have to promote what he promotes. But like Dave said, he's found something with this company, Avini, and it resonates with a large number of people who would like to have the benefits, improve the quality of life in whatever they need respective to themselves. And I'm going to draw that in a little bit, Dave, relative to what I've seen in family members that Candace and I have shared the product with. And we shared the product not based on hearsay, but based on results for our own self. And I want to say this from the start. If you find a product like the Avini products, and there are many products out there that improve the quality of life, this is not the only company that does. but it is the only company that has these specific products. If you experience that, then you really have an obligation to share it with at least those you care about, or maybe someone you know in the community that's also having some challenges that is not getting the relief that they'd like to have. And a lot of times it's about relief, not necessarily cure, because modern science struggles to find cures, but they come up with a lot of relief. And sometimes the relief is bad where it comes to side effects. So a lot like you, Dave, Candace and I have always been very much focused on the nutritional end of products to improve the quality of life for ourselves and others. And as you mentioned, my friend, Candace and I, we've been married 16 years. And so by exposure, she has seen a whole lot of life experience. And for the past 16 years, together, we've been involved in network marketing and business development together as a couple. And we've seen a lot of things out there. And actually, my experience is kind of like yours, having got into network marketing at an early age. I was 18 and had a lot of success. And at that time, there were only a couple of companies in the world being talked about as a direct sales company or a new way to do business, buying from yourself and sharing with other people. And you know who I'm talking about, Amway. And I saw a lot of success there. Not everybody agreed with Amway. In fact, probably one of the biggest things that caused me to want to succeed was the negative input I received from family. Negative input from family? You must be kidding. But yes, I mean, my departed father, I mean, when I started sharing that, at that time, my dad worked for $1.40 an hour driving a truck. And so I started promoting the only product that we had, and that was probably the first biodegradable detergent on earth. And so I got tagged with the name, the soapy salesman. Like, you remember Soupy Sales, the comedian? Well, my dad thought it would be funny to use that. And what he didn't realize is that his ridicule just caused me to be more determined and to succeed, and I succeeded. But it made a big difference.
Can I say something that
Yes,
reminds me? I remember somebody just wisely training people from the stage that when you join, you want to talk to your friends and family first. And then after you've gotten rid of through your cold market. And so I think that was kind of a fun little play on.
It was back in those days, you know, before when Worldwide Dream Builders got started. I jumped right in there, and I remember some of the books and tapes and everything. And we would say to people that what you want to do is you want to beware of the dream stealers that are cleverly disguised as friends and family. So that's not saying that family is bad. It's not saying that friends are not well-intentioned. They are. They just don't know or understand what you're doing. And that's okay. And so I made it my goal then, way back then, to talk to individuals in conversation and learn what it was that they were needing, what they were wanting, what they were interested in, and perhaps they would want to share in what I was doing. They might want to enjoy the benefits of whatever it was that I was passionate about. And I believe, like myself, and like I've seen with you so many times over the years, a passion for what you were doing or what you'd found. I mean, how many people would go out there and they're out there poking around and digging in the ground or using their metal detector, and they find an absolute wealth of gold? They get pretty excited, right? And if you found a place, if you found a treasure of any kind, wouldn't you you're going to share it with somebody? It might be your spouse, it might be your parents, it might be your brother or sister, it might be your neighbor, whatever, because you might need some help digging to get it out. Maybe it's a little on the surface, but there's a lot more underneath. It's going to take some work. And network marketing has been like that throughout the years. We've used different methods, but still today, companies that want to get the word out use network marketing, relationship businesses to do what? Tell someone else about what you have found. Point in case, the other day, Candace, when we go to start to walk around the waterfront like we do every day, we get out there and enjoy God's creation and the sun and the blue sky whenever we have it, right? And there's a lady coming out of her home with a walker. Now she's going to go for her walk at snail's pace because that's the only pace she has. And why is that? She's in pain. She has a condition that medical science and doctors have not been able to reverse. And the things that they would allow her or prescribe for her to take don't remove the pain without drastic ability to impair her ability to even function because there's a side effect. Well, would I keep what I know about Avini to myself, or would I share it with her regardless if there's a pay plan or not? I am not in Avini because of the comp plan. As you know, I've been non-recruitable for over 28 years, having not only been in the top income earners in the industry for over 40 years, but most of those I've been the owner and the CEO and the investor and the developer of the products from the corporate side. And it's just this last 2 years now that we've decided not to do that anymore. There are more important things than money, but money is very important. As you and I talked a little bit on the phone this morning, we can blink and everything keeps going up in price. But let's talk about the product for a moment. Candace and I developed a brand of products over the last 3 years. We spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop these products, and they were great products, to market them through multi-level marketing. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in software to manage all of those transactions and to pay people and to accept money and ship product. And we just reached that point. We said, do we really want to do this? Or do we want to just enjoy more of our life? I'm 72, headed to 73. She's a lot younger than I am. And we said, no, we don't. Well, what are we going to do? I said, well, let's just give the products away. So we have. Now, I'm not saying that to impress anyone on this call. Well, what we did some months later, probably almost a year later now, we heard about a product and products that were being developed by very intelligent individuals dedicating their lives to create products to improve the health and well-being, to give relief to individuals that needed it and wanted it. And they just happened to be the same people that I remember back in the 90s with Rexall. So I listen carefully. I don't shuffle things off and assume that I know something. I go look. I didn't know Dave Johnson was involved. And then someone said on a call, Dave Johnson out in Washington State, maybe you know him. He loves these products and he's sharing it. And that's what we heard about. And I said, is that the same Dave Johnson that was one of the top earners in the world with Unique and Worldwide? Yeah, do you know Dave? We go, well, it's been a few days, but yeah. And if Dave is looking at it, I want to see it. I want to know about it. And I don't mean tomorrow, I mean right now. What is it? We ordered the product as a customer. I have degenerative disc disease, and Candace has had a condition all her life that affects her hips and her lower back, her joints. Well, you have some choices. You can go and get a surgical approach and then do it again, and then do it again, and do it again. In the last 5 years, I went from being 6'2" to 5'11". Yeah, I'll be 3 feet tall maybe by, in another few years, but I hope not. But there's a lot of physical discomfort that comes with that condition. It's a degenerative disc disease. I didn't make it happen. I just inherited it like a lot of the stuff that we do, right? We ordered the Avini products. We knew about silver. I had no desire to be turned blue. We had someone that we saw that physically happen 2 years ago. And then I learned that there was no worry about that with this product. Then I looked about the mushroom stuff. But remember now, we have developed health products for many, many years. So a lot of these things we may have known about, but we didn't develop a product around it, but we heard about it by exposure. So we ordered those. We started taking those. But the big event was the day that the product showed up. Instead of taking something that was over the counter, we always take the nutritional based things first, but there's just some days, that a couple of Tylenol or whatever it is, some of the things stronger, and they all have side effects, right? So Candace went ahead and took the roller of the pain relief and rubbed it on her hip and her lower back. This isn't a cure, folks. This isn't a doctor saying treat it. This is our decision to use a product to see, does it work? Our own guinea pig, right? And so she did that. She's quiet. She just a little spray and 2 sprays on her mouth. That was in the evening. And she slept all night. And she said, you know what? After I did that, it was just a matter of minutes. I didn't feel any discomfort. I didn't have any hip pain. I didn't have any lower back pain. And I was able to rest. So we both have been using the product every day that we have that discomfort. And here's what I've noticed, Dave. The more we've used it, the less the discomfort has come back, the less it's occurred. So I couldn't keep it to ourselves. We couldn't keep it to ourselves because, about the family and friends things again. My son-in-law and my daughter, they are not network marketers. They understand, like the rest of my sons and daughters, I have 8, 4 sons, 4 daughters, and I've lost track of grandkids and great-grandkids. There's a lot. Most of them don't listen to you. It doesn't matter how successful you've been. It's always going to be another one of them things. Okay, but they have no problem picking up the phone and saying, hey, Dad or Grandpa, could you loan me some money? One of them, his favorite conversation is, can I hit you up for 10 grand? What? Well, they're okay to be interested there, but they don't want to learn or share the very thing that put you there. And we've had a lot of businesses that are not network marketing. But for the most part, it's been a very worthwhile industry to be in. So my son-in-law has a condition called polyneuropathy. There's a lot of treatment. And there are many reasons. They call it poly because there are many causes for that condition. And it manifests itself in a number of very unpleasant ways. For him, his extremities, his feet, his legs, his arms, his hands are always tingling and feel like they're on fire. And his feet are bright purple. And his legs about up to mid-calf the same way. It looks like, someone beat his legs with a stick. and his feet break out with sores. So much so that he has a hard time getting around or even getting out of a chair without a huge amount of discomfort. Everything hurts all the time. The only difference between one day and the other is some days it hurts worse, and he has to have some help. If he gets down on the carpet, he can't get up on his own. I wanted to be able to help him. Candace and I had developed probably one of the top CBD brands in the nation. We sent him everything that we could send him. He got a little relief, and he was so thankful. We shared what was happening with us with Avini. My daughter ordered it. Ron got the product. He's very quiet. He took the colloidal silver and sprayed it on his feet and his legs. He then put on his arms and his legs over that the pain relief gel. And I did more than 2 pumps underneath his tongue. Why? Because he's desperate. When you're hurting, all you want is the pain to stop. I know, and some of you can relate to this, when you come out from under surgery, and I've had more than I want, you hurt. And you can hardly wait for the nurse to say it's okay for her to squeeze into your IV some relief. Even if it makes you pass out or you can't think or talk without drooling down your chin. How would I know these things? Of course. But you can't do that with Ron's condition. You can't just keep going, getting more drugs and stuff that impair your ability to drive or think or function. And you don't want to keep taking pills that say they're going to eat your liver up. So Ron did that. And as you well know, Dave, and I've shared with you, and Ron will be on next week to tell his own story, the relief was immediate. Not days, not hours, immediate. My daughter was very tearful, and Ron is up walking around the kitchen, got out of his chair with no help. He's walking around, he's doing all stuff. He's going outside. She's on the phone with me. You can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe it. So a few days later, that was last Sunday, my daughter, who gave to her mother, who also has a lot of discomfort and pain, those products. And the first thing her mother says is, where'd you get them? Well, my dad shared them. She rolled her eyes and looked up, oh. And she said, Mom, just use them. I'm going to give you this one, a little spray. I'm going to give you this little roll-off. Just put it. Now she can't hardly go through a day without being in a lot of pain. But she doesn't like to take all that other stuff either, but she used it. She didn't say anything. That Sunday, my daughter and Ron and their family went for their worship. And people in the congregation noticed that Ron is getting up and down out of his chair. He's walking around, he's talking to people, he's shaking hands, he's got a smile on his face instead of a grimace. There's a lot of difference between this and which one would you rather have? And so people said to him, Ron, you're looking like you're doing really well today. And he never does look like that. What are you taking? It just happened to be a guy that has a pain pump on the doctor put a pain pump so that when he reaches a part where he can no longer stand the pain, it pumps a narcotic into his body, which means that he can function less well than he'd like to. So he says, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is or what it costs. I need to know how to get it. I want that. I need that. So Ron says, well, I have a website. Kimberly knows what it is. They gave it to him. The rest is history. A few days later, my daughter and son-in-law are having a conversation with another person who happens to know her mother, who was using this stuff and rolled her eyes aware who told her about it. And then she doesn't share anything with my daughter, but she was telling everybody in the parking lot in earshot of how this amazing product called Avini or whatever has reduced her arthritis pain down. And that they should talk to Kim and Ron and get some. So that's cool. I guess this is the long and the short of it. I don't know what the folks on this phone or here or this Zoom are here for, whether they just want to learn about the products, whether they're a guest, whether they're already enjoying the benefits of the product, or maybe they're just here to make some money. A lot of people need to make some more money. And one of the areas that I looked at, and I know that you'd be sharing this just like I would, if there were no income opportunity. We have a moral responsibility to do such a thing if we're driven by that. Some people aren't. Some people are only driven by money. Other people don't believe anything you say. It doesn't matter what it is until someone comes out on the news or the Kardashians use it. Influencer marketing, right? So there's a lot of things different today that allow us to spread information, share information. A personal story, it trumps hearsay. You asked me if I'd share that. We used the products. We've already run out. I messed up a little bit and didn't get it coming soon enough on the autosaver, the subscription, quick enough. I should have clicked the earlier date. The products do what they say they do. We haven't had a single side effect. There is a process here that the product works better the more you use it. It doesn't eat up your liver or your kidneys or anything else like other things that might be a temporary relief. The product works. I know it does, because folks like yourself and my family, we have this thing called integrity. We do things with integrity and honesty. We're not going to tell you anything but the absolute truth. Now, will your experience be the same as ours? I don't know. That's not my job. I don't know. Each person is different. But if you find something like this and you don't tell someone, you're being remiss. On the business end, I do know that, having been a compensation plan developer for 28 years, what does that mean? That means I understand the mathematics of what it takes to create a comp plan. I know what they will do and what they won't do. And so the founders of Avini have taken a lot of work and time to create a fair and generous compensation plan. Does that mean that everyone will earn a life-changing income? No. Does it mean that they could? Yes. And the only thing that will prevent them is human nature. You and I can't fix that with a pill. A person wants to, they will. Or they can just do something that we used to call roadblocks that look like speed bumps, and for some people, they're a wall. If you share things with others, and they share things with others for whatever means, My goodness, look at the amount of time that people spend on social media sharing videos and comments of nonsensical events in their lives, trying to find someone out there that'll laugh or like. And yet most of the people are not paying attention enough to see when something of real value is shared. They want to see the latest gossip. Is it a bad thing? No, maybe not. Human nature, yes. Can we change human nature? No. But we can try to help or influence others, influence our marketing maybe, by introducing things of real value. We don't promote anything that doesn't have a real value, an intrinsic value. And that could be from a business standpoint, monetary standpoint, or it may be from a beneficial standpoint of the products like Avini that we use to improve the quality of our lives. That's it, really, in a nutshell, Dave. My friend, as you know, you and your family have been incredibly successful by doing what other people won't do. They've been simple building blocks that work long before the advent of this thing, this that even listens to you, and I can ask for directions and she'll tell me where to go. But other people will tell me where to go too. But this is a computer, and I can just ask her, and she'll let me know. This is a tool that you can use to share Avini or anything else with. Sometimes you have to do the hard part and do it this way. Other times you can just text someone like you and I do a lot. Have you looked at this? You may want to see this. There was a little text that you sent out the other day, and I know you're not stingy. You probably sent it to everybody that had one of the fellows that is now passionate about Avini, and it showed a little video, applied a lot of great thought to about the business aspect of it. All you had to do is, he didn't put a restriction on it, is share his story. Share the things that you see around you, the things that for your own stories with others. You'd be surprised how many people out there that you pass every day in what you do, at the grocery store, at the gas station, just walking up and down the street, that could really use the products that Avini has exclusively to this company. And maybe the byproduct will be increased income. The compensation plan mathematically works. It might be a little daunting when you first see it, but if you just break it down to the simple part of commissions and bonuses, sharing with people something valuable to those that need and want it, you will help but be successful. Don't expect everybody to listen. They're not going to. If you want to go back thousands of years, a man walked on the earth trying to tell people they could have everlasting life, and they killed him. So don't expect your message to be stronger than that. And I'm going to not go any further there, because we have a lot of people on the call here that have whatever they believe in. I can tell you, there are no coincidences. None. This is a fantastic company in its infancy. I can tell you from personal experience, launching a company is a stressful, expensive endeavor. Most people will never come to understand the commitment that it takes for a group of people to get together and invest their time and their money and their heart and their soul into launching anything. That's what these men have done. Is it all for them? No. They've been making products to benefit human condition for years. And for other companies to go out and distribute and to market through various means, including on the shelf and through network marketing, multi-level marketing, call it whatever you want, who've said and been influenced to say, if we're going to control quality and the integrity of the product, we need to control all aspects of it. And what is the best way to get it out there to more people? That's one person sharing an experience with another. That's it. It isn't rocket science. Everything you read in motivational marketing material will tell you relationship building is irreplaceable. And you can do that with electronic means. And you can do that verbally with others. I get a kick out of Dave. People ask him what he's doing. He says, well, I'm selling snake oil. Isn't that something? It is. 100 years of research into pain relief from venom of a cobra? I didn't know that, by the way, or I probably would have seen if they would let me invest. So you have something in front of you. It's not the only thing in the world worth promoting, but it's probably one of the better things where it comes to homeopathic products and people actually getting relief and benefits. Dave's sharing with one of his experiences, and I'm not going to bring it up right now, about issues that the doctors gave him choices of surgery and all sorts of other sorts of treatment, that I've seen other people go that route and then attend their funeral service. That's not good. Everyone makes a personal choice as to how they're going to approach a life-threatening experience. Last year, my mother passed away due to cancer. There was nothing I could get the family to do to try anything else. It improved the quality of her life. Extended, I should say. It didn't improve the quality. You choose. What's it worth to try something, and maybe it's alongside of what your doctors say to do. I do. Dave does. So I encourage you that whoever asked you to be on the call wasn't to listen to me. And I always apologize, Dave. You know that if someone asks me to speak at an event and they give me 15 minutes, it's 55. You know, and if they give me an hour, it's 2. It happens when you wind up having life experiences for as long as we have. And God forbid if they put us both in the same room at the same time. They better have an event just for us, because it will take a long time to disseminate our life's experiences, even if we weed out all the negative. And there have been a lot of negative. I encourage you, really, Dave, and everyone that's on this call, to really pay attention to what is being shared. It could improve the lives of yourselves and your friends and your family, and it may be from a monetary standpoint too. I'm not focused on that. It's just happening. I don't need another opportunity to make money. But the vast majority of the people could benefit. And so if I can help there, I should do it. So I don't talk very much about the comp plan. It's fair, it's generous, it's doable, as you all know in your own experience. And the only thing different between the way you're going about things and the average person does is that you're going to talk to everybody that can breathe. And you're going to share the benefits that you and your lovely bride and your family and your friends, and there are many experiences out there that are just almost unbelievable, but they're unbelievably true. So you want to get together with whoever invited you to be on the Zoom today. Understand that you are the seed. You're those little seeds that get planted, watered, cultivated, that grows into an amazing tree. That's what you are. You're planting seeds of someone's future benefit and success, including your own. This company is new, and hardly anyone knows about it. I already have people saying, when can this product be shipped to this country? When can this product be shipped to this country and that country and this one and this one and this one? I don't know yet. I know they're working hard. I'm surprised they're into Canada already, because just licensing for that, a lot of folks don't know, Dave, that every time you go to license in a country, it costs you money if you're doing it legally. I have no reason to believe that Avini is doing things any differently than I would. And the last time we licensed a product to go into Canada, it takes almost 3 to 6 months and $30,000 up front with no guarantee that they'll license it. And Avini is in the United States and Canada. That gives a really good base of operations to get started. So I am nothing but favorably impressed, and I'm compelled to share this with others. And I would do it even if there were no comp plan. The comp plan is simple in process. It's not where it comes to program it. That I can tell you. And that's another thing that the average individual simply has no frame of reference for, is to how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars it can take to put together a simple thing that we say is a back office that does all these incredible mathematical equations to produce trade, process, compensation computation, paying commissions, visiting with the bank and transferring money and all that stuff, and track an entire sales organization of unlimited size. My hat's off to the founders of this company. You have a winner. Soon, many, many, many thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to go, have you seen this? I wish I had the bottle in my hand. You're on to something. It's quite profound. And what's fun for me to contemplate, I don't have to spend the money to make these products. I don't have to warranty them. They're already doing it. I don't have to arrange all of the shipping processes and fulfillment, which is expensive, by the way. They're doing it. And this is not the last of the products. I already know. And I had no one's told me. I just know from being in business and having done it. Those two fellows, the good doctors and the nutritional scientists, and I know their names, but I can't think of them right now. They need to come up with a naturopathic memory pill for me so that I can remember people's names and stuff better. But I will tell you, there will be more worthwhile, safe, and effective products coming from this brand. Mark my words, you heard it this morning. This would be fun to be involved at the corporate level and watch all this stuff come together. But I swore off on being involved corporately, or I would be over there in Idaho knocking on their door. And I would have done it weeks ago, as I told you. I love what they're doing here. I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to shut up. Don't expect these men to be perfect. Don't expect this company to be perfect. They're not, but they're really trying hard to be fair. I believe they have a tremendous amount of integrity. Where it comes to business, do they have all the answers? No, but they have enough to be successful. And where it comes to the folks that are building these products, I believe you can take that to the bank, that they are doing everything they can to provide you with the very best alternative to a number of things that people need some help for. They're not claiming to cure anything. Is there a potential that some of these things for some people could become that? Certainly. Just like we pray and hope that medical science will one day become less greedy and create more cure than temporary relief for a condition. Billions, trillions of dollars are spent on that because it's profitable. Well, I believe these men here are making a profit, but it probably isn't as much as they could or maybe should. The pharmaceutical companies would love to have these products so they could control them and get the price they want. You know how that works. You know how expensive life-saving, maybe treating is a better word, some of the prescriptions that are out there. Some of those prescriptions could be $500 a month, $1,000 a month. And if the people don't have insurance, they can't afford it, and so they suffer. This company has created some very worthwhile products that are going to improve the lives of others. You may be among them. You get to choose. So Dave, I always am very grateful that you let me talk. I'm surprised you don't put a buzzer on me, and it might be a good idea. And let's just help as many individuals that we can, at least to give these products a try, see if they do what they say they do. If they do, tell some people you care about, at least first. Or if you see someone that's going through a problem, you know, the last time we went in the grocery store, I can't tell you, I think I'd have to take a counter with me, and of the people who, you know, watching them, they're not feeling very well, they're hurting. It doesn't matter if it's their feet, their back, or whatever, they're in discomfort. And so maybe you don't know of anybody that wants to listen to you, but could you share a little card, a little invitation to see? I've had something that's helped me and my family, it might help you, and hand it to them. Let them go look. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to have enough empathy for people to do it. I'm going to be quiet now. It's all back over to you, Dave, my friend. Thank you again for putting up with me. And all of you good folks there, I apologize for being so long-winded this morning, but maybe it makes sense to you. If it does, I applaud you. If it doesn't, well, you say, well, if Dave does another Zoom and he's on there, we're not going to be on that one. We're going to go watch the news. Talk to you soon, Dave. Say hello to everyone out there. And again, thank you so much.
Shelby, you're awesome. I'm glad you're my friend, and together everyone achieves more. So what a team we're creating, and let's just go out and do a lot of good. That's one of the most wonderful feelings, is just to know something wonderful happened and you got to be a part of that. And so, as my friend Chip Littlejohn says, when you join this business, you step into a whole stream of miracles. So let's go in all the way. Waist deep. Take care.
Absolutely.
Okay, love you. Thank you.